shouldn't come up. Let's close that for the moment. I'm going to try to put the info up. Anyway, good afternoon, good morning, good day, wherever you are. And thank you for supporting me. Love and blessings in your now moment. I just thought I would go live, do a little bit of Qigong with you, some little grounding exercises. I was listening to what do I need to do today, what guidance was coming through for me personally, and it was definitely to be doing the practices that help me bring in these high energies, and one of those is our Qigong and our practice, which, as you know, has fallen by the wayside during this time of me recuperating, and I've had to allow myself to come to terms with the fact that I had to rest, and that I couldn't do what I was doing before, and that I'd had to just listen to what was right. And this is the same instinctive, intuitive guidance coming through to listen, to start that movement again. And as I was like, yes, let's start that again, let's do like Get Fit for Summer with it and combine it, and like great, did 2 of those classes, and then haven't done the third. I haven't been up to that. So it's a beautiful day today, that's helping. The sun is out, and I figured, as I'm meant to be demonstrating the process that I'm going through in these death processes of letting go of ego, self, of what is a guide, what is someone that demonstrates, what's a tutor, a teacher, what it means as a responsibility to hold that. And it's not about I have the knowledge and I'm sharing it with you. It's actually sharing, this is what I'm going through, this is what I've learned, and this is what works for me. This may work for you, it may not. So one of the things that is really important, you'll notice I'm sitting on the grass, is grounding. So I'd like to start our practice actually on the floor with some floor work, with just some simple grounding exercises. Literally, when you get out of bed in the morning, I think if you're one of my members, your members will remember I spoke about this, and I think this is a yogic practice as well. You can literally come down and just straight out of bed and onto the ground and touch the floor. What's the name? Robinson. Can't think of her name. She's a presenter, but she's the one that does the high five in the mirror, and she suffered with depression and become quite known for this during lockdown, talking about her depression. And she used to talk about how she would sometimes just roll out of bed, and literally once you roll, and she would physically roll out of bed to get onto the ground, and that is a step to get herself out of bed. As someone that has suffered from depression in my teens, I understand this immensely. It's that little step. And I remember someone I know that was trying to give up smoking, and they were reading this book. I think it was actually like a hypnosis book, it might have been Paul McKenna or someone like that, but it was saying in the book they were reading that it's those 6 seconds with addictions like that actually once you get past that 6 seconds, then it gets easier. It's the shifting our mentality, which we worked a lot of, and those of you that follow me on Patreon know that I shared Joe Dispenza's Gaia series with you to talk about how our brain can be completely rewired. It's called Rewired the season, how we can do that ourselves by doing certain practices. So what has that got to do with grounding? Maybe nothing, maybe lots. One of the things energetically that's shifting this month that my guidance kept saying is that our grey matter in our brain is shifting, hence me talking about what I was deeming the goblet effect, and how we look at ourselves, how we see through perception of reality. Now that could be multidimensional energies, but for some of you that might just be seeing yourself differently, seeing how you deal with life differently, no longer reliving those stories again, because how that light now is illuminating the brain, the higher states of awareness within you. So that's also very deep, but on a very practical sense, feeling how the electromagnetism of the earth helps ground us. We are electrical beings, and I'm not going to go into the science of this because I want you to do this with me. So I invite you, if you can, if you're not outside, then to visualize, because our brains are amazing. We know from image therapy, from creative visualizations, and thousands of studies. And as I mentioned the other day, and it's coming up, Dr. James Hamilton's book, Why Woo Woo Works, he quotes lots and lots of studies on where he'd worked with placebo and nocebo effects here in the UK. But basically, your brain doesn't know the difference between you imagining a fear or a lovely, pleasant experience or it actually happening. It interprets it in the signals of the brain in the same way. So we're going to do a little bit of creative visualization if you can't get outside. But you can obviously look at the tree that's behind me. If you can get outside, this is brilliant. Trees and being by a tree is really, really helpful for grounding. Hugging a tree, get your 6 seconds of oxytocin plus some grounding is another tip that I would highly recommend. I'm brilliant. I'm feeling like I need to share some grounding practices with the high energies that we've got coming in, and just connecting. So that's what I'm inviting you to do, and join me in meditation a little bit, and then we'll continue with some movement and Qigong practice. So closing the eyes if it's safe for you to do so. Start to envision somewhere in nature that you feel comfortable. It can be anywhere. You can be on a beach, in a forest, some green grass like I have here. And if you are able to be outside, actually place your hands, and if you rub your hands together, which opens the gates in the hands, nice deep breath in and exhale, and place the hands down. Now if you're feeling like maybe it's the middle of the day for you, I don't know, depending on where you are in the world, let me know where you are in the world, that'd be interesting to know. Then you might have had a rough morning, or you may have a brilliant morning, regardless. If you have had a bit of a rough morning, sometimes you can just shake off that energy and just ground it down. I remember a unique experience that I want to share. After being in Giza and by the pyramids, beautiful energy there, I'd taken a trip to into Cairo to where my friends were staying at another hotel. And I was so aware, after being so close proximity to the pyramids and going through the experiences that we had with the channeling in there with Matthias, that when I came away from that and went into this hotel, this was after the event and everything, I felt as though the energy of the dense population of the city was just completely, I could feel the difference, and I needed grounding, very much so. And one of the things my friends did, you need to ground, tap down, and he had a very grounding energy about him. Just taking my hand reminded me to ground. So we would just tap the body and then tap the ground, and it releases, like releasing static. You know, when you've got it on your clothes, same sort of thing, residual, because I felt like I was picking up that intensity of Cairo at that time. So hold your hands down onto the ground, breathing in. I want you to envision roots growing down from the root chakra, so from the bottom of your spine. Doesn't matter, I mean, I'm leaning over. Just breathing in, breathing out, as if you are like the tree behind me, or the tree, I've got loads of trees in front of me. If you want to look, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do this for me as well. With the eyes open or with the eyes closed if you're visualizing. Connecting with the energy of the tree or the ocean, whatever it is you prefer. You might be called to be on a beach. Maybe it's a palm tree. But allowing any sounds around me, I can hear my neighbours in the garden cup over. You might hear, I don't know if you're in the house, you might be hearing the washing machine. So still have that anchor with reality and the connection, but go deep within to your own core. Feel connected, feel anchored in this now moment. Is there anything I need to share as I call in my higher presence? Just be at one with yourself, and it's about releasing. When I first started to express what I call love language, what many call light language, or light and sound, it was like the ego wants to go, well, I want to know if that means this, or does that mean this, does that word mean this? And what came back is packets of information of inner knowing. It's like the heart field decodes the frequency for me of my multi aspects of the self, and the sound waves work on the brain, especially when you are doing it in a very grounded, anchored way. But as I express that, it might make you want to express that sound, and if you do, then do so. And you don't have to, you can just let them roll over you. Let it be a mirror for your own soul to emerge in its highest states. And I'm going to come to a kneeling position, bringing the spine upright. Take the hands down into what we would call standing mountain pose. And feel the pyramid within you, your fires, your inspiration, your divine spark. And then if you take the hands out level with your shoulders, and imagine like you have wings. You might think of it as visualize with wings of an angel. To me, these are the wings of the Merkaba. And as that Merkaba spins really fast, it creates the toric field around you. And then there are many, many layers of these fields that go up through the dimensional layers that you begin to become aware of, the more connected you are with yourself. And then lifting our hands up, over. Open and receptive to the highest aspects of the self. Take a deep breath in and bring the fingertips down to the Pugwai point, which is right at the top of the head. And we're just going to massage this point here. This line crosses over with all of the intersections of the meridians, the energy points that go through the body. And then I want you to just press, release with your breath. So breathe in, press and hold, breathe out, and release. And again, press and hold, and release. This time opening up the hands again, visualizing a flower opening to the sun as these beautiful divine rays, rainbow colors, silver, gold, plasmic light, photonic light filtering down like it's raining down over you, showering you, cleansing you, clearing anything that feels in disharmony with the body, with the soul. Bringing the elbows to the body, keeping the hands up. Bring the hands to the heart. Bring them forward. Now we're going to move into some movement practice to bringing these energies into the body. Hands come up. Lean over. Don't worry about the sounds. Inhale over, again, inhale, exhale to the side, and back. Now, obviously you can continue to do this sitting down, or you can come to your feet, coming up slowly. As we come up, trace up the meridians, yang energy, coming up and round, coming to the kidneys, stepping apart, just pushing together the shoulder blades. If you can hear me hopefully, I haven't got my mic on. Push the shoulder blades together. This activates a point here that helps your immune system. It's like pressing an immune button. And come down, so then we're going to trace down and then up. This time bring the hands up into prayer position over the heart. Center with the heart energy, the heart sound. Take a deep breath in and exhale the HA sound, which is the sound of the heart in Qigong. Like you're letting go of any more tension, any resistance to being in the wholeness of you. Lifting the hands up. And as you bring them down, make the sound he, which is triple warmer. He. In a triangle pointing down like a cup at the quadrant at our lower dantian, and I want you to think about the sound wah, wah, W-A-A. It's like I need to just do it, I think. It's just trying to spell it because I've always done it as a sound. This is a pulsing sound that's very grounding, very earthing, and also very 3D to bring in these nice, beautiful energies. We want them to be in the body, we want them to be grounded and rooted in the now and physical. So, breathing in. In bamboo, so bringing the feet together, placing the hands over the lower dantian, breathing in what I call easy breath. That's in through the nose, out through the nose, allowing the sounds to just wash over you as love language, light and sound toning, to work with the bioresonance of your body, through my body and your body, and all that are watching, whether in the here and now or later, as there is no here and now, future, past. Just placing the hands here, connecting, keeping that visual of nature around you, grounding you, anchoring in, calling in higher aspects of the sphere codes, the dragon energies, that which is from multi-dimensional aspects of self. Whatever resonates with you, you can call in for yourself. Those are what resonate with me personally. Tona kia sana te tayato. E kia naya hatira kata heta. He sanunona chia kaita. Nanane kia lala. E satura te kia chiala. E shia naya toronomiata. Entunia turane chia knudoda tiala. Ekti turotikta. Ektuolak diashkiniala. Nenunuk dia kitialakno. Eshirak dia tiara turana. Eshnuniaya tayala shknuniaya. Yeidun. Miandun. Layayen. Layayen. Layon. Yatum yatam yate. Open and receptive to the higher aspects of self, feeling safe, feeling held, present. I become one with the higher aspects of me as you become one with the higher aspects of you. Grounded in now. Rubbing the hands together. Take them over the head, around the back, under the chin, over the heart, around the top of the cleavage or the chest, go down the sides to the kidneys as we trace that yang energy down the backs of the legs, around the toes, up the center and back to the hips, and then just shaking off any tonification. So we're going to just tap down in those same spots, tapping down the sides of the legs, cupping the hands, bringing our Wei Qi to the surface on a physical level, up, coming to the kidneys and up to the adrenals, allowing the nervous system to letting that more light, more physical, healing. Coming to the lungs. Woo! Almost lightheaded then. Definitely need to more get grounded. Feeling that presence. Tapping on the lung points. Breathing in as you do so. Both sides. And then onto the thymus. And gently tap. I know Donnie talks about like the gorilla and Tarzan, but it is quite gentle. Don't do too hard. And then coming down the inside 9 times at the elbows and down, and then up the outside of the arms. We do this 9 times. I've lost count now. That feels quite right. And then onto the shoulder, behind on the side, and then switch sides. So there is still the bilateral flow crossover of the right and left brain hemispheres, but that's shifting in our higher states of consciousness, and we're moving out of that. So 1, 2, move into what we call shaking the tree. So start with the arms, bounce on the knees, very light on the feet, and we shake the nervous system. This is great to do if you are nervous, if you get panic attacks. This is the only way I know to reset. Even if I used to suffer with panic attacks, but I hadn't had one for years, and a few years ago I had one, and even meditation wasn't working, and this was the one thing that worked to reset me back into my connection to the heart. So shaking, and if you bring the hands up and just bend them over, which you shake out the lymphatics of the body as well. And if you do this for 3 minutes, if you need it or you don't need it right now, and then just come into stillness, step the feet together again, allowing the hands to come down, feel the difference, feel the tingling, have the energy flowing through you. Hands back up to heart. This is a great one for the summer, so bringing the hands to the heart. Take a breath and then pushing out and in with the breath. Fire energy of the summer. Take a little of that fire down to the kidneys, then bring a little bit of that wisdom from the kidneys up and down, up through the central column of light and out, pushing out, and this time holding the hands out in front of you, light swords. Taking the hands around you as you do so, cutting away any ties, any attachments, taking the hands, linking them behind you. As you do so, taking a bow to where you've been, turning to face behind where you were, thanking where we've been. Just finishing up, we're going to zip up from the belly button, bring the hands down the central column to the belly button, zipping up the energy for whatever we need for the day, and a little figure of 8 at the lips, a little figure of 8 at the forehead and overhead, and holding the hands up high, stretch up. You might need to open your eyes for this. As you stretch, come up onto the tiptoes, making sure those gates are open, babbling brook, and feel fountain energy flowing down. And coming to slowly open your eyes, hands together, one fist, may all contrasts be wrapped in love and compassion, the beautiful energies of the goddess, or the divine wisdom of the heart and soul. Thank you. And just before you go, come back down to the ground, or take in that visual of the ground again, and we again connect, thanking the earth, the 3D that we are in, that we are our physical form, for all it does for us in this beautiful avatar of the body. Thank you for your time and for bearing witness, even during the noise, which has gotten quite loud. So I shall leave it at that, and hopefully see you more frequently. See the baby Yoda behind me with the washing. That's another little tip as well. Even if you don't feel like you can physically move, joining us is brilliant. How you can just connect with the visualizations, visualize doing the moves with me if you physically feel you're incapable, and even just sitting in the garden, watching the washing sway, connecting with the trees around you will really have a real healthy effect on you. But as today is Thankful Thursday on my page, I just wanted to just take it a little step further although I always do it for myself, I invite you to as well, to thank your body, thank it for all it does, thank your emotions for reminding you when you're not where you are on the emotional scale, when you're not connected and when you are, and for the mind, for those stories, and to remind you they are just stories, but thanking them for showing you where your resistance is. And again, thanking this beautiful divine world we live in. Namaste. Sanzu. Arigato. Blessings. Have a beautiful day wherever you are in your now moment. Thank you. Please give it thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know where you are, if that helped, and where you are at. What's your intention for today? Take care. See you soon.